and welcome everyone back to day 2 of part 1 getting interview ready for Python. So today we are going to discuss about list and tuples, the first two important data types in Python. And in the next part 2, we will be discussing dictionary and set. So what are we going to cover in this topic? List, its characteristics, creating list, indexing, slicing, list methods, tuples, its characteristics, tuples packing, unpacking, list versus tuples, mutable versus immutable, and some sample interview questions for sure. Some of it we will be discussing, some I'll be giving you at your end so that you can solve as well. So coming up to the definition, coming up to the topic list. What is a list? So a list is an ordered and mutable collection that stores multiple values inside square brackets. So these are called square brackets that we also come across as third bracket. These are square brackets. Okay. So those are used to replicate or denote list in Python. What are the characteristics does it have? It is ordered, it is mutable, it allows duplicate values. This we have already discussed in the previous video while learning data types. What else did we see? That it supports different data types. We have also seen this. So if I am going to print this line, if I print data, it will print the entire thing in this order. See. This is the print value that I have got. Now how can we create a list? This is an empty list. This is how we create an empty list. So I have denoted it with the variable name as empty. Next up we have numbers. Numbers we can have, and we can have mixed values as well. That means a string, integer, boolean value, etc. etc. Now how can we access these elements? This also we have done in the previous videos. I am covering it really quick. We can access those elements by referring to the index. So we start with the index 0, then 1, then 2. So here I have created a list with the name fruits, and we have values in here: apple, banana, mango. And if I want to print the value which is there at the 0th index, I'll be getting the value as 0. Value at the first index I'll be -1. So -1, what is it doing? -1, what is negative indexing? It starts from the last element. So -1 will be printing mango. Why? The indexing will start from the last. So let us see, here we have got apple, that is at the index 0, -1. For -1 we have got this mango. So what is negative indexing over here? Negative indexing starts from the last element. As simple as that. Like here we have got mango. Now we can do something called slicing in list. Slicing means we can take a certain range of list out from the master list that we have. So we have the master list as numbers. We have numbers over here from 10 to 50. Now if I want, I can list out the elements from 1:4. What does it denote? Indexing, although it is starting from 1 to 4. So at the 0th index we have 10, at the first index we have 20, at the second index we have 30, at the third index we have 40, at the fourth index we have 50. So what is happening? But we will be getting the output as this only. So why are we getting this output only? Because the last element, the last boundary value, that is not inclusive. It goes till -1 of this element. So if it is, say suppose, starting element is to ending element. So ending element, the index will go till -1 of that index. So this is same thing happening over here. So we are getting this output. We can also update a list. How can we update? Suppose this is already I have discussed in the last video that this is our master list, and if I want to update the element at the 0th index, so now our list will become 120, 30. Okay, I have not printed over here, so we will be getting the output as 120, 30 whenever we will be printing next. If you want, let me just show it so that you don't get confused. over here we have already got 120 30, so our list is updated. Now why is a list mutable? Because elements can be changed after creation, like we have already changed over here, so list is immutable. What are the other operations that we can do on a list? Adding elements. We can add an element with the help of these words, keywords or functions, that is append, it adds element at the last index. Then we can insert an element at the certain index as well. So insert, this is at index 1, I am inserting 15. Then extend, we can extend an element to, like if we want to add an append, we are adding only one element at the last position. Inserting is for a particular position and a particular value, and extend adds multiple numbers at the last. So if I have my list this 120 30, when I am performing this append function, one more 30 will be added, and this one at this first index we will be having 15 instead of 20. And we can also extend this list with this extend function, where we can add multiple values. So what is the difference between append and extend? In append we are adding only one object, in extend we can add multiple elements. Okay, we can remove the elements in the same manner with the help of remove function, pop, clear, del. All of them deals with the same thing, nothing new. So remove will remove 20, pop will just pop out that particular element, whatever element you will be mentioning it, and delete numbers at the index 0. So it is for deleting a number at a specific index. So useful list methods. What are the some useful list methods? Sort is to sort the array in a certain order, ascending or descending. Usually by default it is sorted in an ascending order. We can reverse the list, we can count the number of elements at the list, we can find the index of a certain element, and we can copy the list as well. This function is very important. We will be discussing this in details in the upcoming videos. Next, what is the difference between sort and sorted? Sort modifies the original list, and sorted returns a new sorted list. This is a much asked interview question that you need to be pretty aware about. Next comes is the nested list. So nested list is basically a list inside another list. While doing HTML, you must have come across these sort of things, that what is a nested list? So nested list is nothing but a list inside another list. Now how can we access the elements of this? We can access the elements of this matrix by printing the index at a particular number. You just need to know this is how we declare a matrix, and this is how we print or access the elements. That's it. Next up we have is the tuple. Tuple is not much used, but still you need to know. So tuple is an ordered immutable collection. That means we cannot change it. So suppose this is how we declare this tuple, with the help of single bracket. And what are its characteristics? That it's ordered. So whenever I am printing it, it will be printed in the order 90, 80, 70. It is immutable. That means we cannot change the values in a tuple, and it allows duplicate values. That means once the value is entered, you cannot change it any further. So it is also said that tuples are faster than list. Why is it faster? Because you cannot change it. Changing the elements takes some time. But tuples are immutable, so it doesn't take any time to change as such. Next we have tuple packing. What is tuple packing? So this is how we declare a tuple. Suppose I have entered two strings and one integer. We can unpack them by simply writing name, age, and adding one element force equal to student. This is how we unpack a tuple. Single element tuple, comma is a must, that I have already said in the last video, data types. Now why is it so? Because without a comma this becomes an integer. This was the reason that I was talking about. This is a much asked interview question. Why is the comma mandatory? Because parentheses alone do not create tuples. If you do not put a comma, that will be treated as an integer. Tuple methods, only two methods are there, count and index. And what is the difference between list and tuple? List are mutable. It is slower, it has more methods. Tuple is immutable, it starts with single braces, it is faster and only counted. index value methods are there. Some interview questions are already listed over here.